Hi, everyone. Welcome to this video on Introduction to GitHub Copilot. In this video, I'll try to explain you what exactly is GitHub Copilot and how it could help you in your day-to-day activities. So this video is for all the developers or DevOps engineers, even people who perform lot of automation, infrastructure automation, or configuration management, and so on. So I guess you are well aware of AI, artificial intelligence, and how it actually can improve productivity of individuals. There are a lot many different AI-based tools available nowadays, and GitHub Copilot is a generative AI tool specially designed to assist developers. Okay, so let's see what exactly it is. So first point, GitHub Copilot is a tool developed in partnership with OpenAI. It uses several models from OpenAI, but it's not dependent on only those models. Right now, we have more than 7, 8 models you can use, LLM models you can use right from GitHub Copilot. And it is a developer assistant, or you can say a Copilot means a co-developer. Let's assume like you are using an agile methodology called pair programmers or pair development. So you have a developer and AI assistant that would guide you or that can help you to do some of the tasks. So you are still the pilot, and GitHub Copilot, as the name suggests, is an assistant, right? So you can delegate some of your work to this AI delegate, okay, to this AI assistant. There are several use cases I'm going to explore and I'm going to explain it to you. I'll give you a very simple, quick demo on how it basically helps you to work. So let me share my screen. Here we are. Okay. So let us try to understand what we can do with GitHub Copilot. As you can see, I have this editor window open in front of me. This is my VS Code editor. GitHub Copilot, as of now, supports multiple IDEs, multiple development environments, and VS Code is the very first environment to support Copilot. As you can see on my environment here, on the right-hand side, you can see a build with agent. The screen over here, or this panel over here is GitHub Copilot chat. But you don't have to always use this window to interact with GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot also has a feature, built-in feature that let you interact with Copilot just while writing a code with no special command, with no special panel, no special prompt even required to interact basically. So what all things you need? GitHub Copilot is a service, or GitHub Copilot is an offering from GitHub. So if you have a GitHub personal account, or if you have a GitHub business or enterprise account, you can opt in for this additional service. We call it Copilot. Okay. You can find more information about Copilot and Copilot billing from their pricing page here. Let me show you. So this is GitHub pricing page rather. This is GitHub free version that which I'm using right now. Copilot is just one additional service GitHub is providing. So you can go with either free plan or Pro Plus. These are for individuals, single users like you and me, or else you can, for businesses, we have business and enterprise plan. The one which I'm using right now is a business plan. Okay, let me show you where it is, how I can check that. So basically, I'll just take you to my personal GitHub account. That's my personal GitHub account. And let me show you my GitHub Copilot settings. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm currently using GitHub Copilot Business Edition. Okay, and there are several models currently available for me, but I don't have all the models enabled because I don't want to use all of them right now. So I have just enabled, I guess, 3 or 4 models. Rest of them are still in disabled mode. Like I have access for Cloud Sonnet 4.5 and Cloud Sonnet 4. I'm still using 4. I'm not enabled 4.5 yet. And there are several other models, as you can see, like Google Gemini 2.5 Pro, Google Gemini 3.0 Pro. They are also available to me, right? So right now I'm using GPT-5 as my default model. Fine. So here is VS Code, the well-known all-in-one kind of a dev environment. You can use it for all kind of application development, irrespective of technology stack, irrespective of programming language that you wish to prefer. Okay, that's this. I don't need this. Fine. So when working with any kind of programming language, please remember one thing: Copilot has support for various different programming languages, including C, C++, Java, C Sharp, Golang, Rust. Okay, even PHP is supported. JavaScript, you can use Copilot for JavaScript, TypeScript. Copilot can even help you with HTML and CSS for that matter. So let's say, for example, I have a sample application open in front of me, and let's say I have this REST endpoint developed here. This is basically an API I have built, and you don't even need to write any kind of prompt to use Copilot. You can use Copilot on the fly using a feature called code auto-completion. So to give you an example here, there are several, as you can see, there are several methods already defined. And if I wish to add one more method here, how would I do that? Let's say, for example, I have this method for find all, then I have this method for find book by ID, and then I have a method called save book. But how about adding an endpoint that will allow me to find a book by name of its author? But before that, let me quickly check if there is any field in this field in this book class for author. So yes, there is a field called author, right? So this will help, right? So how to do that? Copilot can read your comments. Copilot can read your entire workspace, which is open right now in VS Code. So let me try making use of a comments here. Okay, so let's say a REST endpoint for finding book by. See, Copilot is actually giving me a hint. Do you want to find books by title? But I don't want that, right? I'll say I want to search it by author. And now let's press enter and see what happens. Copilot is giving me a suggestion. Now this is like a auto-completion most of the IDEs provide. Okay, it looks like that, but it's much smarter than that, right? Okay, so Copilot is saying, okay, you want to do that? First, you should do this, get mapping and all. Okay, fine. Let's use a tab. Tab is the key that says, yes, I accept your suggestion. Next, what? Then it's saying you should use API operation tag. Why is that? Because I have a open API docs framework enabled for documentation of my API, and it is reporting that as well. Then it's asking for this method. See, what I'm doing is I'm not even writing a single Java line. What I'm doing is I just wrote a comment, and from the current project, from the current directory, Copilot already understood that I'm building a Java application using Spring Boot, and it's a REST endpoint I'm building, and it knows all the background, and what it is actually trying to do is giving me a suggestion, and I'm just accepting them. Though I will strongly recommend you to not blindly accept everything AI suggests to you. You should read it and try to understand if it is actually doing what you expect it to do, right? But I guess I find it better, right? But Copilot can make mistakes, and Copilot did make one mistake. And unfortunately, you will notice there is a red line here which says this method is undefined for book.to. So Copilot is trying to call a method that doesn't even exist in the target class. But guess what? Look at this small little button that Copilot fix. Copilot can fix the errors in the code either written by you or Copilot itself has generated a code, and you can ask Copilot to fix that. So let's ask Copilot to fix this error for us. See what Copilot does. Now this window, a small panel that you are seeing here, is called inline chat. So let's continue in chat mode. Now from inline chat, we went to the full chat mode, and here we got this error. What is this? First, you need to install GitHub Copilot for Azure extension. Why is that? I don't need GitHub Copilot for Azure, right? Don't ask me again. I don't want this, right? Copilot is basically not able to understand this error, I believe. Anyway, what I need to do is I just have to define this method in the DAO class. Basically, that's what I understood from this error message. So your AI tool will and can make mistakes, and you have to jump in and fix few things. You cannot totally be dependent on it, right? So let's do one thing. Let's go to this DAO. Let's find this DAO. Here is the book DAO class. And what I'll do is I'll now ask Copilot to generate a method here. So what is the method name, by the way? The method name here was find by author. Okay, so let's say I will ask Copilot to generate this method, find book by author containing ignore case. And guess what? Copilot is able to generate this method for us. And it's following up, right? This is basically for uninformed. I'm using something called JPA repository in Java programming language. This is a Java project, but don't worry if you don't know Java language. It's just following the standard practices, and it is just following the framework which I'm using. It has understood that how to define the method and done that. So we need a query, right? So let's say JPQL query to find books. Let's see if Copilot can understand my request and generate the query for me. Looks like it's not working somehow. How about I just press enter one more time, or maybe I should have done it first before writing a method. But what happens if I just start writing stuff like just say query? Oh yes, this is autocomplete, right? So when Copilot was confused, it was sitting silent. And what I did, I just gave it a push, a nudge. Okay, @query. And now Copilot like, okay, you want JPQL query, right? For this one. So let me give this query to you. And here is the query. Let me press tab and the query, but I have to carefully read this query. Okay, remember, you cannot be totally dependent on Copilot, right? So it is select B from B, book B, where lowercase b.author is like lowercase, and then whatever author name you have specified, percentage. This is basically SQL stuff you might already be aware of, right? Done. Let me go back and check if the error here in this, yeah, it's fixed already. Wow, that's great. So Copilot can do auto completion. Okay, this is Copilot auto completion. I don't even have to write a prompt to interact with it. Okay, now if you don't understand this method at all, right, you want Copilot to explain that to you, you can do that. So let's say just select the code. And if you are using VS Code, you will get this idea button, right? And here there is a button like you modify it, you review it. Okay, you can do a code review right here, or what else you can do is Control I. This is inline chat. Let me just use a shortcut /explain. I'm asking Copilot, please explain me this piece of code which you have generated. Let's see. Copilot can explain me this. So Copilot has read the selected text, and now it's going to generate an explanation for it. Okay. Oh, wait. I was expecting Copilot to generate an explanation, but I don't know what happened. Let's undo it. Let's ask it again more politely. Explain selection. Oh, not terminal selection. Okay. Let's say selected code. What is this now? What Copilot is actually doing here, I don't know. But instead of explaining me this code, what this code does, what Copilot has done is Copilot has added all that explanation in form of Java docs comment. Now, this is for those people who are not aware of Java as a programming language. This is basically a documentation comment. Yes, Copilot is explaining me how this method works and what it does, but with the help of official comments. Let's keep it. So basically what this method does, handle HTTP GET request to find books by author name. Okay, and parameter author name is the parameter to search for. It returns a response entity containing list of books matching the author name, case insensitive, and it will return HTTP status 200 if the books are found. Isn't it great? Think this way. You have been assigned a task, right? In your, let's say, latest sprint, current sprint, you have to finish a particular activity. You did it. It's tested, run, everything is done. And then your team is getting back at you and like, okay, you did everything great, but what about documentation commit? You should mention what this method does on top of it. That part is missing. Now you have your dependable AI assistant with you. You can delegate this task to your assistant. Okay? Ask Copilot, hey Copilot, just explain all this code or add the required documentation comment or comment wherever it is required, and Copilot can do that. Okay. If I want, I can just use Copilot prompt to put a documentation comment on all the methods. What I just have to do is just open Control-Shift-I, open the chat window, and you can see this file is already open in the context. It's already open in VS Code. Let's just, okay, wait, I don't want agent mode. It's something more complicated. Let's use edit mode. Edit mode allows, we are allowing Copilot to edit my files. Simple as that. So here I'll say add documentation comments to all the methods and class. Okay, I'm using GPT-4o. If I want, I can change this to GPT-5 or GPT-5 mini, for example. So let's see what Copilot will do now. Okay, while Copilot is generating this code, I have one more question for you. Don't you think every time you add a functionality to your code as a developer, you are also supposed to write test cases for it? Yes, that's right. And what happens if you don't write any test cases? That decreases your code coverage. And it's an important metrics. Okay, when your team sit and decide like how efficient your development team really is, the efficiency is measured in several KPIs, several metrics. And one of the metrics for developer is the code coverage, quality of code and code coverage. So yeah, fine. Looks like it has generated documentation comment for all the methods. You can see it here. I'll just slowly scroll them down and you can see there is even, this API book method, right? So even on the class level, there is one API documents or Java documents placed over here. And you will notice those lines which are deleted appears in red color. Those lines which appears in green are the new lines that has been added. So it has updated an existing comment as well. And this is basically the modified comment. And all the methods are now properly commented, right? Okay, do you know what is boilerplate code? You can just ask Copilot to write all that boilerplate code instead of you writing it because it's boring, right? Yeah, and you can concentrate on more productive thing or you can concentrate more on more important things, right? And you can just let Copilot generate this type of document, explain code, autocomplete things for you whenever possible. Main objective is to reduce the time you need to build this application, right? Okay. So let's proceed. And what I'll do next is I'll show you how we can generate the unit test cases for this as well. So either you can use a prompt to generate unit test, but if you already have unit test generated, let's get to those unit test cases. Here is the package REST and book resource test. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's ask Copilot to add missing test cases for whatever files are there, right? And let's try to understand the prompt and context. What is prompt? Whatever text you write here is called prompt, and context is files that you attach. So let me attach one more file here, which is bookresource.java. So bookresource.java is the file which contains additional methods that I have added, and this is the test case. And here I'll just use a prompt test add missing test cases, right? That's it. Now let Copilot read my file, the original code file and the test case, find out which method test cases are missing, and it will just add them. Just wait for a minute now. And tell me frankly, like how fast you can write a test case. If you can write it, if you can develop test cases faster than Copilot, then good, congratulations, you don't need AI. Anyways, so here it is, and I'm using edit mode, and it's actually in edit mode, I was expecting it to add everything to this file, but it's fine. So it's showing it to me on this window so I can review it, right? And let it do, right? Let it just finish whatever it might be doing, okay? So here it is. So this is how the test case should be written. And yeah, you can see the entire code has been written here properly from line 1 to line 2, line whatever last line is. And what I can do is I can use this upline editor. This will basically just copy this text to whichever text editor currently open. Now this one is open here. So let's see what happens. Press enter. And now it will just take everything in here and we can compare like what was the original text before and what is the new text now. So you can see here all the other text, it was already there, and only one test method that has been added here is this one. Let's keep it, right? Let's clear the communication with Copilot and let's go back. And you can see there is a test case now added for the newly created method, right? Where we are trying to find a book, okay? So we have test find book when exist. This is find by ID. Okay, this is find all. This is find by ID, and this is find by author. You can see it here. We are trying to find an author called Martin. If it is found, it will return, yes, it's found. Okay, found already, right? Like that. Okay, fine. So this is how it works. You can generate unit test cases with Copilot. And let me be clear here. I gave you an example with Java application, but that doesn't mean Copilot just knows Java, or Copilot just only knows how to write test cases in JUnit. That's not true. Copilot knows how to write test cases in NUnit or TestNG. Copilot also knows how to write test cases in Python, PyTest, for example. Copilot can generate test cases for your Angular React application, TypeScript project, basically. And Copilot can even generate test cases for languages like Golang, for example, right? So multiple language support is already available. I just gave you one example of Java. That doesn't mean that Java is a favorite language of Copilot. It's not that, right? There are multiple languages currently supported for Copilots. And these are the use cases you can use Copilot with. Now, next use case that I will cover now, our next use case is how Copilot can help you review your code. So yes, Copilot will help me to review my code, do a code review. And if it finds anything like missing in your code, it will actually give you a suggestion for that. So let's do a quick code review with Copilot, and you can do it like this with the context menu in VS Code. Let Copilot review my code and find anything which is missing or something that can be further improved. Copilot will help me with that. Let's wait for it. Okay, this code was already generated by Copilot itself, right? But when you ask Copilot to review it, Copilot will not just assume that it's a generated code and it doesn't require any improvement. It's not like that. Okay, fine. So Copilot has given me 3 reviews, and you can see it has explained it properly here. This is the old code. This is the solution given by Copilot. And you don't have to accept it always, right? You have 2 options here. Apply, go to next, discard, go to next. So Copilot is saying it's just a nitpick. Path variable name author uses all uppercase, which is inconsistent with the rest of the API, right? The rest of the project is not using uppercase, and this one is using uppercase. Inconsistencies, avoid that. Let's apply. Now, next review. Path variable annotation refers author, but parameter is named author name. Not following best practices again. Fine. So it's better to practice it, either make it match or remove the explicit values and all. And this is a solution it offers. See, it's not trying to fix any compilation error because there are no compilation errors. Okay, it's just trying to make my code more consistent, readable. Line go. And code reviews. Explicit type argument list is redundant due to type inference. Diamond operator introduced long back in Java 7. Java 7. So apply this. Done. And the Funny thing is, if I just select this code and do a review one more time, there are chances Copilot will still give me certain reviews, few more suggestions. Okay. So Copilot can do all this. Copilot can auto-complete your code. You can write something in a prompt for Copilot to generate something. And Copilot can generate unit test cases. You can do code review with Copilot. You can generate something like Docker file. You can generate something like Kubernetes manifest with Copilot and a lot of things. So that's it in this video. I will not try to make this too lengthy, okay, because we don't have enough time to do that. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope to meet you again in some other video or maybe in a web or classroom session. That's it. Thank you very much. My name is Mahendra Shinde, and you're watching this video on GitHub Copilot. Thanks, and see you again.